Hi, my name is Jerry and this is Shani, who's going to present us with the first dish for today, and it's going to be...
Jerry will be making creamy pesto pasta.
Okay, so let's start with the ingredients.
Okay, so first we have pasta, then we have our green peas, then we have pesto, next we have Parmesan cheese that's been grated, then we have paprika, pepper, garlic powder, and the last of our spices is the salt, and then we have some heavy whipping cream.
Okay, so let's get started.
Alright, so first thing you want to do is you want to turn the heat to about medium-high, because what we're trying to do now is boil some water. So in this container we have about 4 quarts of water, and that's equal to about 16 cups because 1 quart is 4 cups. So we're just going to be pouring this water in. So what we're doing now is that we're boiling the water, and just to add to this, can you pass me the salt?
Sure.
Okay, so to the water I'm also adding some salt, and what this does is that it flavors the water, which will help when we cook the pasta because it flavors the pasta as well.
Okay.
Here you go, can you put this back?
Thank you.
Actually, Jerry, we don't put the pasta in yet. What we do is we wait for the water to boil. Because if we put the pasta in now, we're not too sure of how it'll come out, if it's too hard, too soft. So first thing is, bring the water to a boil, and we add some salt and we just wait.
So I hope our water's boiled now.
It's almost there. Let me tell you a little bit more. So the sauce that we're using actually is called pesto.
Okay.
Do you want to know what that is?
Yes, definitely.
So pesto is actually a mix of basil leaves, garlic, salt, pine nuts, grated Parmesan, and pecorino cheese, and extra virgin olive oil. So I've already mixed all of that and put it here. And pesto, the Italian word for that is actually pestare, which means to grind or to pulverize. And that it refers to the authentic way in which the pesto was originally made, which was with a mortar and a pestle.
But Shani, I think I need the recap on the pesto sauce again. Can you just let me know what exactly do we use for that?
Of course. So again, basil leaves.
So basil is done.
Salt.
Salt.
Garlic. Pine nuts.
Pine nuts. Can we use any other options? Like, do we use any other nuts or something?
No, I wouldn't use any, because to get authentic pesto sauce, you need to use the pine nuts because it gives it a specific taste.
Okay.
And then we have 2 types of cheeses. Traditionally, it's Parmesan cheese, and they can also add pecorino cheese. It's a different type of cheese. And then importantly, there's also used olive oil. There's also olive oil in there. So
Yeah, Italians do use a lot of olive oil.
Of course, always they use olive oil. So that's what we have for our pesto.
Okay, that sounds really good. I mean, you see the sauce actually, you know, it's more of olive oil. The oil itself has been like, it's been create a base, and the green basils all together, when you mix it and grind it, it really looks as, you know, the oil has just come up and it really looks so tasty.
So we can make the pesto with the pasta by itself, but today I'll be making a creamy version, so I'll be adding some heavy cream. And this just makes the pasta a little bit more rich and has a different taste. But you could always omit the heavy cream if you don't want that.
Okay.
So it looks like our water is almost there. We're gonna wait for it to boil, and then we're gonna add our pasta in. And what we're looking for, Jerry, in the pasta is that we want it to be something called al dente. So al dente means firm to the tooth, because you want the pasta to be firm enough. You don't want any soggy pasta when you're eating it. The Italians like it a little bit firm.
Okay.
So that's what we're looking for.
So yeah, if it's like it would taste like a mashed potato if in case it's boiled too much, right?
I guess you can say that, yeah. Okay, Jerry, it looks like the water is boiling. Can you do me a favor and put some of that pasta in the water? Actually, put all of it, but be careful because the water's hot. Yeah, you can just go ahead and use your hands.
I'm sorry, I'm just using my hands.
Perfect. Thank you, Jerry.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just gonna use my ladle here and just mix it around. We don't want any of the pasta to stick together. So just mix it around a little bit. And then we're gonna leave it alone.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do now is we had decreased the heat a little bit. I'm gonna put it back up, and then as the pasta cooks, the water is gonna start boiling again, and it's gonna cook for about maybe 10-12 minutes. And when it's done, the pasta will come out al dente like we mentioned before. And then we're just gonna drain it in a colander,
Okay.
and we're gonna have our cooked pasta, okay?
And Shani, as I just saw that you had added a salt in it, right?
Yes.
So why do we add salt with the pasta?
We add salt because it actually ends up flavoring the pasta as well. Otherwise,
Okay.
the pasta is a little bit bland. I mean, but don't get me wrong, we're gonna add salt even afterwards.
Oh.
But just to like flavor the pasta a little bit, we always just add a little bit of salt.
Okay, I think the water is boiling.
Yeah. So we're just gonna wait for our pasta to cook now, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so we cooked our pasta, we drained it, and here we have it ready in our little plate. And I'm gonna have our host Jerry try one.
Okay. Let me see how it looks. It's pretty much like a
Like
cooked
a-
version, and with the salt, it has got its taste.
Uh-huh.
So I think it's really good. It's good to go.
Does it taste al dente like I wanted it?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right, so next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna make the sauce. So get a skillet, place it on, and then put the heat back on. And this time you're gonna put it to about a low-medium heat. Because what you're gonna do is you're making the sauce, and we're gonna make the sauce from the pesto. So Jerry, can you hand me the pesto? Now remember, pesto already has olive oil in it. Olive oil has a high smoke point, so I'm just gonna place this in here. Jerry, can you put this over there? So to this, I'm gonna be adding our heavy cream. Now what you don't wanna do is you don't wanna boil this, okay? Because once we add our cream, all we wanna do is heat it up, okay?
So are we heating the pan before we adding the pesto sauce?
I mean, you can just put the pan on, heat it, and then put the pesto. I mean, you don't
Yeah,
have to wait because remember, you don't want it too hot.
Okay.
So we're just gonna,
So next would be the cream, right?
exactly.
Let me just open this up for you.
Okay, it's already starting to heat up. It's a little hot. Be careful, Jerry. Okay, so if it gets hot like that, just lower the heat. Not a big deal.
I think I just opened it up.
Okay, that's good. So there's no exact measurement, but however much pesto you put, you want to put a little bit less cream. So we're just gonna pour this cream in. And this is just gonna make the sauce very creamy.
So we're adding the pesto sauce, we're adding the cream. So the green and the cream all together looks really good.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool and it smells good. Do you smell that
Yeah.
basil? So we're gonna start using this. So what I want you to, yes, go ahead.
No, are we using on the low flame or are we
Yes,
using
keep
high
it on
flame?
the low flame because remember, you don't want the milk to boil, then you'll get taste that you don't want.
Okay.
So next thing I want you to do is hand me the spices.
All right, so we going with the paprika first?
It doesn't matter. Just tell me as you give it to me. You're gonna put some paprika now, and you're gonna put it to taste. Okay? So if you like it spicy, you put some more. If you don't
Okay.
like it too spicy, you don't. Okay?
Next we have pepper.
Yes. And we have garlic powder. And lastly, our salt. Okay, and we can always adjust the salt afterwards, okay? I'm gonna give that a quick mix. Okay, and then Jerry, can you pass me the cheese? I'm just gonna put our cheese in here and it's gonna melt and it's gonna be delicious.
So Shani, we are using the Parmesan cheese, right?
Yes, we're using Parmesan cheese. That's what's traditionally used with pesto, but you can always use like guess mozzarella, or if you have any other preference of cheese, but traditionally it's made with Parmesan cheese.
So Parmesan cheese is basically the cheese. I mean, it's cow's milk, right?
Yeah, it's made with cow's milk.
And is it available at stores?
Oh yeah, you can get any type of cheese. You
Okay.
can definitely get it at stores. Okay, Jerry, I think I'm actually gonna switch to a wooden spoon, so if
Okay.
you don't mind.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. All right, so now we're gonna put our pasta in. Can you hand me the pasta, please? And can you actually, yeah.
I'll just do it for you.
Oh, thank you.
You want me to add the full pasta?
Go with half of it and I'll tell you, because we don't want to put too much pasta if there's not enough sauce. That'd be perfect. A
You
little
want
bit
more?
Put a little bit more, and then let me see. Let me mix it.
Okay.
So what you want to do is try to get every piece of pasta coated
Oh.
with the sauce. You see it?
Yes,
What do you
Shani.
think, Jerry?
I think, you see the pasta, the cheese, you see some kind of threads being formed. It really tastes like, I think the cheese is just melting slowly, and it is like, there's like a perfect marriage between the pasta and the cheese. Like, you can see that.
So we can put a little bit more pasta.
Okay. I'll have you.
And I'm just gonna mix this last bit. And our last step is we're gonna add some green peas. That'll just make the dish taste a little bit more fresh, because it is a little bit of a heavy dish because we put the heavy cream. All right, Jerry.
You're gonna add the peas now.
Yes, but like we did with the pasta, a little bit at a time. So add half of that, please. It's always good to have a little bit extra ingredients on hand,
Yeah.
in case you need it.
So we can also use it like with varieties of other items like chicken, and we can use it with
Definitely, yeah.
other stuff like meats, different types of meats. And this is typically the Italian way of doing the pesto pasta, right?
Yes. So I just turned off the flame, and we're just gonna keep mixing with the flame off. We don't need it to be hot anymore because everything is thoroughly warmed, heated up, and ready to plate. Okay, Jerry, ready to plate?
Yes.
Okay, can you do me a favor and lift up the plate? Okay, a little bit closer. So we have our stringy cheese, we have our green peas. The little flecks that you see are actually basil pieces.
I could see the pesto sauce is right through the small, the pasta inside. It's perfectly mixed.
Yeah, I like using this type of pasta for this recipe because it has little crevices in the actual
Yeah.
pasta, so it'll catch all the sauce.
Yeah, it looks like there's some small pores within the pasta.
Yeah, little ridges. A little bit more. Perfect.
All right.
So what we're gonna do now, just for a finishing touch, I'm just gonna add some Parmesan cheese on top, okay?
Okay. Italians do love the cheese, so I think you should put more cheese.
More Italians or you? Okay. All right, you ready to try it?
Yes, definitely. Let me get the fork.
Let's bring it a little closer.
Mhm.
Make sure you get everything.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think?
So good.
No words.
I've got no words to say. It's so good. The cream, it's so creamy. The strings of the cheese, the pasta, the peas. So it's a perfect combination.
Yeah, I like that it's creamy, that you don't get the same creaminess with, let's say, half and half or 2% milk, which is what you could substitute for the heavy cream, but this just gives it that perfect creaminess, don't you think?
Yes, and it is a little bit of tangy, the punch. So it's like the sauce, the pesto, the basil, the leaves all together have mixed so beautifully. It's a perfect dish.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yes, definitely. So thank you so much, Shani, for presenting us this beautiful dish. I was really able to taste a part of Italy, the dishes of Italy, and I would definitely try this at home. So here we are with the last dish of the episode, a famous Italian dessert. And if it's Italy, it's definitely on the menu. And we have Tessie with us who's going to help us and let us know what exactly she's going to prepare for us today.
Yes, definitely, Jerry. So we're gonna be making panna cotta. It's a decadent Italian dessert that is literally just cooked cream. So let's get into the ingredients.
Okay.
So we have a cup of half and half, half a cup of heavy cream, some sugar. We're gonna be using 2 tablespoons of water for the gelatin. And the gelatin that we have here is a packaged, unflavored gelatin. We have vanilla extract and some lemon. So Jerry, do you know why we're using the unflavored gelatin?
No, Tessie, I mean, I know that there is different flavors
Yes.
of gelatin, but I don't know why we're using today the unflavored one.
Well, the reason why we're using the unflavored gelatin is because this is cooked cream and you don't want any other flavors coming in. We're gonna be making this panna cotta and we're gonna be drizzling some strawberry sauce at the end. So with any extra flavor added to the gelatin, it loses the taste of the actual dish.
Okay, so let's get started.
Exactly. So I'm just gonna turn on the stove. And you want this at medium heat because you don't want the actual cream to boil.
So first we're using the...
We're gonna be using half and half. So this is 1 cup of half and half. The heavy cream. This is half a cup of heavy cream.
So half and half is basically the milk that we get in America. It's as far as in India is concerned, we get only different types of milk, the varieties of milk. So here we have like the half and half
Yes.
and the 2% milk as well. So this is the half and half one.
Yes, you can get different types of milk at the supermarket. It's usually best to use heavy cream and half and not actual milk because when it cooks, a richness and a thickness from the heavy cream comes, and if you use regular milk, you won't get that actual thickness for the actual dessert.
Okay.
Can you pass me some sugar? We're gonna be doing 1 tablespoon of sugar.
So we're gonna boil it for a couple of minutes, right, Tessie?
Yes. So we're not actually gonna boil it. Can you put this back? Thank you. We're actually only allowing it to simmer. So as you can see, there's bubbles forming around it, and I'm gonna actually be using a wooden spoon. And you also don't want it to reach the bottom and actually burn. So I'm just gonna keep stirring this. Actually, can you stir
Yes.
this? And I'll
Agree
be
with that.
putting 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. Teaspoon actually. This is to give a little flavor to it. You could actually get a vanilla bean and use this instead of vanilla extract, but just for convenience, it's easier to just get it in the bottom from the supermarket. Also, I'll be using just a slice of lemon, just for a little extra kick. So I'll be just cutting a little piece of that.
So as Tessie did mention about the vanilla bean. So if it's the Italian people, they normally use the beans and they just carve it up from the center, right, Tessie? And then they take the extract and put the entire bean, in fact. So they say that's the actual way of making panna cotta. So that's the traditional way, right?
Exactly. You don't want the seeds, the whole hassle of getting the seeds out of the vanilla bean and putting it in. I mean, that is the authentic way. Just for convenience, we're using the vanilla extract. While I'll stir this, and as you can see, the bubbles are starting to form. So this is actually perfect because you don't want it to boil. Can you actually get me the gelatin and water? We're going to be using this, just a small little bowl, and we're going to be using 2 tablespoons of water. Yeah, we could just use the whole thing actually. It's actually perfect. And just pour the gelatin in there. So I'm just going to turn this off. As you can see, the bubbles are starting to form. And we just want that to sit for about 30 seconds to a minute. And let it sit and outside kind of soften. So this is a very famous Italian dessert that wherever you go, you know, whether it's in a restaurant here in America or anywhere where, you know, the Italians have gone, you know, they have this dessert on their menu, and it's so famous. Even though it's so simple, it's just literally cooked cream, which is easy to make. You know, you can make it for your friends and family. It's actually, you know, something that they are traditionally, you know, always use all the time. So we're just gonna take that gelatin that you thank you. As you can see, it's nicely softened, and this is actually perfect. So we're just gonna pour this into here. And I'm just gonna mix it. I'm gonna turn the stove back on. And put it on a low heat. You don't want it too high. And I'm just gonna mix it so that we make sure that all the gelatin nicely mixes with the heavy cream and half, vanilla extract and so on.
So the main purpose here is basically not to burn, like not to
boil.
boil,
Mhm,
right?
exactly.
To boil the milk. So, you know, if it's a dessert, you would never want to taste something which is burned.
Exactly.
So that's why we keep it on a low flame, and you know, and then get the perfect taste out of it.
Right, the right richness and thickness that you need for this dish. And also we're gonna be pouring this into these nice little cups and putting it in the refrigerator. So you don't want it to be like boiled. If you boil it, then it'll become too hot and you have to wait for it to sit and cool. It's just too much of a hassle. So it seems like our gelatin has nicely mixed, and right now I'll just pour this into that bowl that you have over there. And I'll be using a strainer just to make sure in case if any gelatin didn't melt in the mixture. As you can see, the gelatin actually melted. It's just the lemon peel that's left behind.
So if you see exactly, it's all the ingredients in this have been properly mixed, and it's not that you have some solid portions in it. It's properly an equal amount. It has been mixed.
Yeah, it's really simple. You can make it, you know, for your friends, especially for kids. They'll love it. You know,
they would love it.
And I'm pretty sure, like, as long as you're not allergic or, you know, lactose intolerant, this would actually be perfect to have as a dessert. So we're just gonna pour this nicely mixture into these small little cups that we have here. Usually they're called ramekins, but you know, we have they're small little bowls. I'm just gonna, with the help of Jerry, thank you, I'm just gonna pour it into here. Do you actually know how long we're gonna put this in the refrigerator?
No, you're the chef.
Yes, it's actually gonna be 8 hours, which is a really long time. So it's perfect if you're cooking this and making it the night before a party, or if one of your friends are coming over. You don't want to do this the day of, because it will take 8 hours to cook, to actually solidify.
Okay.
So we're just gonna take these small little cups and put it into the refrigerator. And I'll see you in 8 hours. Thanks to Jerry, I have this panna cotta that has been sitting in the refrigerator, and here it is when you take it out of the refrigerator. Right now I have this water in a saucepan just to bring it into a boil, and after it starts boiling, we'll put this right in, and just for like 5 to 10 seconds, just to allow it to melt enough so that we can put it into our plate.
So the water seems to be boiling now.
Yes, so I'm just going to turn it off. And thank you.
There you go.
Just carefully put it in. This is boiling water, so be careful. So I'm just going to count until 5,000.
So we're just partially dipping the cup, right?
Yes.
And so that actually we get the panna cotta out of the bowl.
Yes, because it's been sitting in the refrigerator, so it became thick and you want it to get a little milky, so that when you put it onto your plate, it's nice and smooth and creamy. So I'm just going to use a small knife in your house that you can use and just go around the corner. As you can see, it's already
Yeah, you
melted.
can see it's so melted so quickly.
So that's why I said 5 to 10 seconds is actually perfect. You don't need any more than that. And sometimes it's always good to go around twice. I'm just gonna use a plate, and actually it's good if you put it on the ground and flip it over. You see the milk just
Yeah, you see the cream
Coming
just
out.
coming out.
Yes. So what we're gonna use is some strawberry sauce that I pre-made, and the strawberry sauce is just frozen strawberries blended in with some sugar. So 1 teaspoon of sugar, a little bit of lemon for taste, and after that is blended nicely, you put 1 teaspoon of cornstarch to get a little thickness, and you boil that
Okay.
for a little bit. And as long as it comes to a simmer, you are set to go, and you have your sauce.
So we're using frozen strawberries, right?
Yes, it's actually good frozen because you get that jammy taste. You could use fresh strawberries, you could use any other fruits, you could use raspberries, blueberries, whatever your taste is. I like strawberries, that's why I'm just using a little bit of strawberry. So I'm just gonna pour that around.
So I just wanted to know the strawberry sauce again, because I really love strawberries. So it's gonna be, so when I'm making the sauce, it's strawberries, and then it's gonna be
1 tablespoon of sugar,
sugar,
a little bit of lemon for taste,
lemon,
and cornstarch.
cornstarch, just to get, so that it gets thicker.
The thickness,
Yeah.
yes. And you're gonna, after you blend that in the blender, you're gonna bring that to a simmer, and it should be ready to go.
Okay.
So let's have a little piece of.
So, and before we do that, we need to garnish it.
Yes, thank you. I forgot about that. And we use a little mint just for garnish. It's nice and cute. Just put it right on top. So it's good to get a little piece of the panna cotta and a little bit of strawberry sauce. You get both flavors at the same
Okay.
time.
Nice and creamy, Tessie. I admit you. I want to tell you this: the creaminess, the strawberry, it's a perfect combination.
It's the right amount of thickness too, right?
Yeah, that's right. And especially the mint leaves, it's giving a really good kick to the taste.
Exactly. And as you can see, it's once again we're bringing the Italian flag into the picture with the
Oh.
green, white, and red.
Yeah, that's true. So as I also mentioned for the eggplant parmesan, they also had the same thing. And over here, if you see, it's the green, red, and white, which resembles the Italian flag.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you so much, Tessie, for this
Anytime.
beautiful dessert. And it was really, it's when you look at this dessert itself, you can tell that it's so mouth-watering.
Thank you.
And definitely, I'm gonna try this at home. So thank you so much once again,
Have a
and
good
you
one.
guys take care.